if you are given with a topic, okay, this is the topic which is given to you. You have to know how to elaborate that topic and make the means for each from this topic you have to be able to derive 3 points from it and write a paragraph for each of those points. Okay, so that skill you need to have to get good marks in management. So what I will be doing is I'll be going through each topic and telling you what all points you need to remember in that topics, and rest is upon you how much you can remember and elaborate it and write it in the way, make diagrams and all. So let me give you an overview of the whole syllabus. So this is what we have in the whole syllabus. These are the 5 modules. So in module 1 we have 4 topics. Okay, in module 2, module 3, module 4 and module 5. If you learn all of these topics very well, you can score a lot of means you can score very good marks in your externals. So the patterns which I found here are the questions are mainly of 3 types. Either they can ask you for the definition of something like define management, define planning, define organizing, and what do you mean by staffing, what is directing, communication, coordinating. You got the point, right? So those definition type of questions are the first type of questions. Okay, second type is characteristics, nature, importance, those type of questions. Okay, all have similarities. Okay, like what is the importance of planning, what is the nature of coordination, how do you mention the importance of communication. Okay, those things. The third one is the steps. What are the steps involved in selection of a employee, what are the steps in planning, those things. Okay, so things like that come under steps, and mainly these are the 3 type of questions which are asked in the means management question paper. Okay, so let's get started. In module 1 there are 4 topics which are management. About management there are few questions. About planning there are 2 more questions, 3 questions here, 2 questions here. So roughly around 10 or 15 questions are there from the module 1. In the same way we will be discussing all the modules, what are the questions asked and how do you remember those key points and all. So yeah, let's get started with it. What is our first topic? The first topic is about management, right? Under the topic of management, the first question is define management and explain the nature and the characteristics, importance of management and so on. Okay, so management, one definition you can memorize. It is the art of getting things done through people. Okay, so here are some people. How do you get the people do the stuff? That is known as management. That's the definition. You have to write the definition, and the definition is given by Mary Follett. Okay, just write the definition and write the person who gave the definition, their name. Okay, that's the first thing you need to write when you have been asked with this question. And after that you have to write the nature and characteristics. Okay, so in module 1 you have to remember 2 keywords, which is continuous and universal. Okay, just remember these 2 keywords. Okay, for all the type of questions like what is the nature, characteristics, importance and all, these 2 keywords, by using these 2 keywords you have to derive other words. Okay, for example, let me show you how do you do that for management. Okay, so what are the characteristics of management? Okay, continuous. What do you understand by the term continuous? It's keep on means going on, right? So if management is a continuous process, what does that mean? See, time is changing. Okay, time changes, so situation also changes. So it is a continuous process, so what happens is it's keep on changing after each period of time, right? So it is dynamic, it is changing always. Okay, see, remember it in a form of story, so you will be able to remember the points. Okay, where I started from, define management. Management is the art of getting the things done through people. After writing the definition, what you have to do is remember these 2 points, continuous and universal. It is a continuous process, so it's changing and it's dynamic. That's the first point. And the second point is it's relative. Okay, relative, not absolute, because different companies prefer different ways of management, so it's relative, it depends on the context and it's not absolute. And the third point is regarding the universal. Okay, so since it's universal, it's practiced by people around the world, and there are different types of disciplines around the world, so it's multidisciplinary. Okay, it is multidisciplinary. And finally what we have is management an art, science or profession? It comes under each of these. Okay, art, science and profession. Also it is universal, that also you can write it as a point. And what are the characteristics or what is the importance of management? Suppose that, imagine there is a company in which there is no management at all. So what will happen? Fights, lack of time, wastage of resources, failure, no direction, no control, and so on. Okay, so these all things happen when there is no management in a company. So what these are all the points. There will be, if there is management, what are the characteristics? There will be no conflicts and all, and there will be best use of resources and time, and it leads to success, and there will be direction and control, and the things will go in a proper way, and there will be supervision and all. Those are the characteristics. Okay, whenever they ask you to write about the characteristics or the importance, what you're supposed to do is just imagine a situation where this thing is not there. At that time what will happen? So by these points you understand what is its importance. By that you have to elaborate and write the points. Okay, so that was about the first question. You just have to write these points in the first question: define management and explain the nature, characteristics or importance. Okay, the next question is, what are the management functions? Okay, what are the management functions? Okay, so for this question what you can do is see, what is the management function? Why do we manage things? Because they get out of hand, right? That's why we do the management stuff, right? Whenever we want to achieve something, we have to plan for it. After planning, you have to organize it. After organization, you have to form a team to carry out the work. And when team is carrying out the work, you cannot leave the team alone. You have to supervise them, direct them, control them, right? Directing, controlling. In all of these places, management is used. So these are the four functions of management: in planning, organizing, staffing and directing and controlling. This is your first step. Make a diagram, note down the points and explain each of these points. For example, what can you explain in planning? Planning means what? How to do the stuff, when to do, and what is the thing which is needed to be done, why it is needed to be done. These are the questions which are answered and planned accordingly in planning. What is the role of management in it? You will manage the resources and you will make a plan how to do it. When you will do, you will manage the time. What you are gonna do, you will manage the objectives. Why you are gonna do, why it is needed, you will be researching on that and managing the people to do the stuff and all. You will be motivating them. So that comes under planning. Organizing means what? There are people, you give them tasks in an organized manner, they will do it more efficiently. That is organization. Take up the resources, see what, how much time is left, organize it accordingly. See, these all points you have to remember in the form of stories. Okay, otherwise you will not remember. What is staffing? Tell in your own words, what is staffing? Gathering the people to do the tasks, that is staffing. And what is management in it? You will be making a coordination between them, forming a team, doing the work. That's all. Okay, just keep in mind, you know all the stuff, right? You just have to put it in a means organized manner in the exam paper. Okay, nothing new is there in it, all you know. Okay, you just have to write it in a organized manner. Okay, so that are the management functions, these 4 points. And a similar question is there which is very similar to the what are the management functions, but read carefully. It is what are the functional areas of management. This is the next question. What are the functional areas of management? So where all management is used? That's the next question. Okay, you tell me where all management is used. Where all do you find management? You can tell from your own words. Production places, where all production happens. Once the production happens, you have to market it. Okay, production, marketing, personal means the HR. Okay, there also management is used in the interviews and all, and how much money is used, you'll be managing the money and accounts. Okay, so these are the 4 things which I'll keep in mind before going to exam regarding this question. Okay, so if you want to add some more points, you can think and add, but keep in mind these 4 points, and if you want more points, you can derive some more points from each of these. Okay, so you understood what are the functional areas of management. Okay, that was the third question. The next question is what is the difference between management and administration? I'll give you a hint what is the difference between management and administration. Rest all you can write from your own words. Okay, management is an informal way of, okay, it's an informal way of carrying out the tasks. Administration is the formal way. In informal way, what you will have, you will have informal meets and talks, and you'll have the how to do the things and all. Informal, what you'll have the legal documents, and you will form the policies, and here you will be having the higher level authorities involved, and here you will be having the lower level like the workers, supervisors and all. With them you will be doing the meetings. So that's the thing. Management is informal, administration is formal. So what are the things that come under informal? Write it from your own words in under the management, and in administration write all what comes under formal. Okay, that's the main difference. Keep in mind and elaborate it in your own words. Okay, and the next question is what are the roles of manager? Okay, so imagine a company where you have a manager. What are the roles that the manager does? Okay, remember it in this way. Okay, like a story. Manager was there in a company. Okay, so he had some employees, he had a good relation with them. So that's the first point, he had a good relation with them. Okay, so they performed a task very good, and they made some product. Okay, let's call it product X. Okay, now the manager has to sell this product to other companies, this company 1, company 2, company 3. So what he does is he goes out and sells the product to other companies. Okay, so that is the second point, which is the informational. So manager acts as a spokesperson to the other companies, he negotiates the things. So that's the third point, which is negotiation and taking decisions, decisional. So these are 3 main roles: having a good relation with the workers, and once the product is made, selling it to the other people. That's the second thing. Have information about this one, negotiate with the customers, and make decisions what is the next step to be taken and how the stuff needs to be done. That is the 3 roles of managers. Okay, relation, information and decisions. Okay, that is the roles of manager. Coming to the next question, what are the levels of management? Okay, levels of management, there are 3 levels. Make this diagram here: top level, middle level and lower level. In top level, who all will be there? Board of directors, chairperson. In the middle level, you will have head of departments, head of sections. In the lower level, you will have supervisors, workers and all. So what do you mean by top level? They will make the major decisions. Middle level will manage the lower level, and lower level will carry out the tasks. Okay, just make this diagram and mention these people who are involved in each level and explain what do these level mean. Okay, that's sufficient. So that was about what are the levels of management. Okay, the next question what we have is what is F.W Taylor's theory of management? Okay, so we have 2 theories. This is the first one, F.W Taylor's theory of management. So how you are gonna remember the points? Taylor's theory of management is a bit scientifical. So what he does is he will first calculate how much time is left for carrying out the task. Remember it in this way: first the time is calculated, then how much salary is to be given to each person, that is calculated. Okay, let's mention here just like in our own words, time and money. After the money is done, means the salary is fixed, we will organize the staff. Okay, means who will do what. Okay, so here organization. After organizing the people, if someone is not able to do the task, means at the best level, so they have to get training, so that will come here. Okay, training. After the training is done, after that the people have to be like cooperative with each other, coordination should be there among them, so that the task which is being done will be done at the means the best level. Okay, so last one is coordination. Remember it in this way, it will be easy. So these are the 5 points which are mentioned in the F.W Taylor's theory of management. Okay, you can go through the notes. And the next question is, what is Henry Fayol's theory of management? Here we have 14 principles. Okay, so how do you remember those 14 principles? Okay, so let's see what are the 14 principles. It's really very hard to remember all the 14 principles. So what I will do is I'll take you through the most important and common points in the 14 principles. So first, it's very general theory. Like whenever you are given a task, what you will do? Firstly, you will divide the task into smaller pieces. That's what you do, right? So division. After dividing the task, what you will be doing is you will be assigning the task to different people, right, who will be carrying out the task. So at that time you will have different managers for each task, managers, and you will have a different set of people, group of people working under it. Okay, so the next point is authority and responsibility. I'll write here authority. First you will divide the work, then you will authorize some people for each of these tasks, and that task should be carried out in a very disciplined manner. Okay, otherwise there will be a lot of conflicts. Okay, so discipline is very important. And the next thing is unity of command and direction. Okay, there should be unity, means one man is saying something which is against this one, and he is saying something which is against this point. That should not happen. There should be unity. Here 2 points are covered: unity of command and unity of direction. Okay, after that there should be like what are the interests of the employees, that should be aligned with the general interest of the company, means they will have self means their own interests, right? That should be aligned with the company's interest. Okay, self interest and general. Okay, that's the next point. And after that we have some points like so other points are just revolving around the topic, which is fair and justice. Okay, like from the points number 7 to 11, those like the keywords are remuneration, centralization, scalar chain, order, equity. So those things, what is order and equity? It means that everything should be performed in order, and equity means they should be given enough pay, and scalar chain means there should be a hierarchy of the people who will be carrying out the tasks. There should be level of management. Centralization, it should be centralized, someone should be managing the people. And we have remuneration means that that also has to do with fairness. Okay, so that points are the till 11th point. After that we have 3 more points, which is stability, means if a person is working, he should be we have to provide him what all the needs of that person, so that the person will be stable and he will be working for the company for a longer time. So stability should be there. Okay, and at last we have motivation. In that 2 points are there, so those has to do with motivation only. Okay, so you can remember in this way: first divide the work into different parts, authorize each person for each task, and there should be a team here, and the team should have the unity in them, unity of command and direction, and the self interest should be aligned with the company's interest. They should be fair and equal and justice and all. And after that it should have the stability, means all should work for a longer period of time. For that, motivate them regularly. Okay, so these are the 14 principles. In that way remember and elaborate the points. Okay, so these were the questions under the topic management. Okay, and after that what we have is planning. Okay, So let's discuss what are the questions under the topic planning. The first question is define planning and explain the nature and characteristics. Whenever they ask you nature and characteristics or importance and all, remember these 2 points: continuous and universal. Okay, what is planning? You only tell me what is planning. Planning means it's an act of decision made by the manager to do what task, when it should be done, how it should be done, and why we are doing it. Okay, that's all planning. And gathering the resources, when it should be done, and means setting the time limit, supervising it, and what is the objective behind doing it, those things. That is known as planning. Okay, having a roadmap before carrying out the task, that is known as planning. And for nature and characteristics, elaborate on these 2 points. Okay, what is the nature of planning? It is continuous process. You continuously have to plan it, right? So it is continuous. Since it's continuous, it has to keep on changing, dynamic, and it should be flexible enough to change. Okay, and what are the characteristics or like importance and all? If you plan, we'll have the best utilization of the resources, best resources utilization. Time will be efficient. There will be less conflicts, right? And the work will be done within the deadline. Okay, so these are the points, and it's universal means it is applicable for multiple disciplines. So it is multidisciplinary, and means it's universal, so it is practiced among different people, and it coordinates people. Teamwork will be there if different people work together, and it allows the people from different backgrounds to work together. So just these are the points, you can elaborate from yourself. Okay, so that was about the planning. What is planning? Write the definition. After that, the nature and characteristics. These are the nature and characteristics. For the importance of planning, if there is no plan, suppose that there is a task to be done. If there is no plan, what are the things that will happen? Some parts will be missed out. We will be wasting time on things which are not important, and it will lead to failure. It will lead to conflicts, errors, and it will be a waste of time, and many resources will be wasted. People will start leaving, right? Those are things which will happen if there is no planning. So the importance of planning is that write the opposite of each of these terms which you find here. Okay, so that is about the planning and its importance. The next question what we have is what are the different types of plans? Okay, so if this question comes to you in your exam, the first thing what you need to mention is there are 2 types of plan. One is the plan for long term, second is for short term. Okay, and the long term plan is called strategic planning, and the short term is called tactical. And you know the differences. Strategic means it's used for major decisions which are carried out, like the decisions are made after a very long time, and those involve a lot of people in it, and also more resources and time is needed, cost will be more, those things. Okay, tactical or short term means the opposites of what all I mentioned here. Okay, so that those are the 2 main different types of plans. And after that there comes the different variations in it, like it is a long term plan but carried out in a short term periods. Okay, means a long term plan is there, it is cut out in short periods, so that is known as contingency plan. Second is the operational plan. Operational plan is also similar to the short term plan, but it has a slight variation. The next one is the directional, means in a particular direction the plan is being made. And specific means for specific objective you are doing the plan. Okay, and the next one is single use plan, means the plan is just for one time use and for a specific context. Or standing plan means in a general domain that plan will be used always. Okay, so there are different types of plan, you can go through the notes. Okay, but main thing is mention these 2 points. Okay, means long term plan and short term plan. Okay, so that was about the different types of plans. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is what are the steps involved in planning? Okay, what are the steps involved in planning? Take up any example. if you have to like go to market, okay, go to market for purchasing some items, and you have to go to picnic, okay, let's suppose you have to go to picnic, okay, like a park and all, okay. So at that time what you will do, firstly you will plan which location you have to go, right, or decide or establish a goal that you have to go to a park. That's your first step. The second step is you have to gather the resources. Resources means if you're going to picnic, what all you need, you need some playable items, you need food, right, to eat, and you need to the playing clothes you need, and you need some games like tennis racket and all. So those things you need, right. So gather the resources. After that, start work. From the project's perspective, gather the resources to carry out the project, start the work. After starting the work, you will keep supervising whether the things are going in the right direction or not, and keep updating the policies and all with time if it requires to be changed and all. And after the updating of the policies and all, yeah, that's pretty much it. Then you will reach the final goal, okay, reach the goal. So these are the different steps involved in planning. First you will establish a goal, gather the resources, start the work. Also I missed here, set a deadline, set the time limit. Within the time limit you have to do the work, and keep on doing, updating yourself. Means it's dynamic, right. So and the plan is flexible, so you'll keep on updating yourself, okay. And finally after that all gets over, if everything goes right, you'll reach the goal, okay. So that's all the about the steps in planning. And in the planning, under the topic planning, these are the 3 important questions, okay. Let's move on to the third topic, which is organizing, okay. So in organizing, what we have is the first question, define organizing and explain its nature and characteristics. If you see nature and characteristics, what you have to write is continuous and universal. This is just for module 1, okay, continuous and universal. Like that I'll be telling for each module what you have to remember, okay. So define organizing. What do you mean by organizing? Tell in your own words. So what there are some resources here, resource A, B, C, and some other resources D, E, F. In organization, what you will do, you will carry out the means separate the common resources and put it in a separate domain, separate group. This is known as organizing. So just write the definition first. Organizing means it's an act of arranging the resources in such a way that it is in different groups and all, and it can be used for it can be used by the staff members or the persons working on it in an efficient manner, okay. Just arranging the resources in its respective positions, that is known as organizing. Write the definition in your own words and explain actually what you mean by it by using some examples. After that, the nature and characteristics. By continuous and universal, what can you make out? It's a continuous process, right. Organizing the stuff again and again means new things are coming in, so it is dynamic, okay. New things are coming in and you're organizing it, okay. And where does organization happen? Whenever a work is there, okay. So some people are working on it, and the work is being done, and it is in an environment, and there is a goal, and there are some resources, and there is a time limit. So when these things are there, what you will do is organize the things, and that is the nature of organizing. Characteristics is what? That's the same thing as we discussed earlier. It is time effective, parallel work will be done, there will be coordination among the people, and it is very means the resources will be used effectively, there will be lesser conflicts, and everything will be like clear what we have to do, the objectives will be clear, those things and all, okay. That's the characteristics, okay. So that's what I told earlier. There is a pattern in each of these questions, okay. Like in module 1 you will get a pattern. In that you will have like nature and characteristics, all like similar things, okay. And when you organize the stuff, what will happen is many different people will be willing to work for it, because the things are clear and they exactly know what to do it, or what to do. So the people from different parts of the world will come and join your company. So that is universal, right? Different people are coming and joining your company. Also, organizations are there in, means every place in the earth, right? There are organizations, so it's universal, it's multidisciplinary. So those are the same points, okay, keep in mind. Okay, same points are being repeated here. Okay, so just keep few points in mind and slightly alter them and write the answers. Okay, so that was the first question, define organizing and nature, characteristics and importance. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The next question is, what are the different types of organization? Firstly, what comes to your mind? There are organizations, this is the basic difference. Organizations who work for they make money, business, and some for non-profit. This is the major difference. Two types of organization, business and non-profit. After that, there are many, like for government, private organizations, and what all you have, like there are organizations who have formal rules and all, and others work on informal rules, like a team of friends who have started up like a company. And there are companies like they'll be having hierarchies of people from the top to lower bottom. And there will be companies who will have like a team of members who will not have a specific position, but they will be helping each other. And there will be organizations based on a committee, means they will have like a particular goal to be achieved in the society. So they will be working towards it, like getting like if there is a village where there is no water supply, okay, so there will be a committee formed to solve this problem. So that is also called as organization, okay, committee organization. So these are the different types of organization, and the main one is for business organization and non-profit. Okay, rest come under it. Okay, so those were the two means questions regarding the topic organizing. Okay, these two questions. The last topic which we have is staffing. Okay, the first question, what is staffing and what are the nature and characteristics of staffing? What do we mean by staffing? Staffing means gathering people. If there is a company here, there are different roles which are vacant, so we are gathering people from different parts of the world so that they join for these roles in the company. That is known as staffing. Write it in your own words. Okay, what are the nature and characteristics? For the first module, continuous and universal. Staffing is a continuous process, so it will increase your organization size. Okay, increase your organization's size. It will increase productivity and it will reduce time. The same things. Okay, reduce time, it will make the best use of resources. And if there are team members in different positions, there will be a hierarchy. Okay, so those are the nature. Also there will be teamwork, that is the characteristics. Okay, teamwork will be there. And yeah, that's basically it. These things and all, there will be improvement in the skills of the people. And yeah, that's basically it. If you get some more points, you can add to it, but that's the main points. Okay, and that was about define staffing and nature and characteristics. Okay, importance of staffing. And just suppose that there is a company where there is no hierarchical order of staffing. Okay, so people will start conflicting with each other. Those things will happen. Okay, it will lead to failure and all. Same things what we mentioned earlier for different questions. So yeah, that's basically it for the first question. The next one is, what is the difference between recruitment and selection? One difference I'll tell you, and rest you have to elaborate. Recruitment means, suppose that there is a college here, college XYZ. In that there are 1500 students. So recruitment means the company will come to this college and tell about themselves. What are their goals and objectives? What do they work on, and what are their domains? Those things will be the students will be made aware about this company, and they will be given offers like come to the interview. Okay, that is recruitment. The company approaches people and tells them to join the company. That is recruitment. Selection means after those people come to the company, they are getting selected. Means if like 500 people come to the company, from that only it's needed like 50 people. So the selection will happen, the interview process and all. So that is known as selection. First comes recruitment, after that comes selection. Okay. So that's the main difference between recruitment and selection, and you can elaborate more in your own words. Coming to the last question, which is what are the steps involved in selection? Okay, what are the steps involved in selection? So the steps which are involved in selection are like first there will be application. This all we know, we are all aware of the steps involved in interviews. After the selection there will be initial interview, like what is your name and all those things and all, like a general information about us. That is the second step. After that what happens is you will be given the employment test, like aptitude test, coding test, HR round and all those things will happen. If you pass those tests, at that time they will be checking the references and the recommendations of the people. So they will be deciding whether to select you or not. After that if you are selected, they will be carrying out the physical test and the medical test. Okay, and after that you will be given the final interview for setting up what all you, which role you are going to perform, what all you are supposed to do in that task, and what will be your salaries and all timings. Those will be decided in the final interview, and after that you will get the offer letter. So this is the process of selection. Okay, so that's all about the things which are in the module 1. To recap, you have to know about 4 things. The first is management, the definition and all, what are the types of management, and not type, the functional areas, and the levels of management, and 2 theories we have. After that, in planning, what we have, what are the defined planning, different types of plan and the steps. Organizing, types of organization. Staffing, what is staffing, and the process of selection, in the difference between recruitment and selection, and the process of selection. Okay. Coming to module 2, we have 4 topics mainly, which are directing, communication, coordination and controlling. Okay. So as I told you before, like you need to remember a few key points using which you will be writing the definition and the importance and the nature, characteristics and principles of each of these. Okay. So here the questions will be like this: define directing, and what is the nature, characteristics and importance of directing, and same thing goes for communication, coordination, controlling also. Okay. So in controlling we have a few more topics, which is like steps in controlling and also where all controlling is used. So we'll discuss each of these. Okay. So the first question in this module is define directing and explain the nature and characteristics of directing. What do you understand by the term directing? Directing means there are a set of people here, you will be telling them to do some task. Okay, means directing them towards a particular task, that is known as directing. So definition you can write in your own words only, like helping the people to take specific actions and motivating them to do the tasks which is aligned with their objectives. Okay, means whatever is needed to be done, you are just motivating them and telling them in which direction you should go. That is the definition of directing. Nature and characteristics for this module, you will remember 2 words, which are motivation and success. This includes everything. Motivation means gathering people together to do that work, and success means completing that task in time and so on. Okay, like helping each other and all. So these 2 keywords you will be writing the nature and characteristics. So directing, what are the nature and characteristics? Since it's like motivation and success, you will have coordination among them. Okay, that is known as synergy, or you can write by your own words also. Synergy means everyone is doing the same task. Okay, and since everyone is doing the same task, they are united together to do the same task. Also since it's motivation, you should have close relation with the subordinates, close to subordinates, and you will get the feedback from them. Okay, so it's not restricted to what all I'm writing here. You can write from your own words also, just that it should be aligned with the objective of this question. Okay, so you are leading the people and you are taking the feedback, doing those things. Okay, just gathering people towards a specific task, motivating them and leading them towards the correct path, also taking feedback from them to improve yourself. Okay, so these are the nature and characteristics of directing, and you have to write the definition also. Okay, And after that, the next one is explain the leadership styles. Okay, so for that the leadership styles mainly is divided into two parts. The first is the king rule, and the opposite is democratic. Okay, the next one is free reign, means the people decide like what to do, and the opposite of free reign is bureaucratic, like a government servant. Okay, and connected to this is the servant leadership. Okay, and the other one is the charismatic, who leads by using the skills of motivation, and the next one is quiet. So quiet leader does not involve in big rallies and all, but he will sit quietly and think and decide what is the correct decision to be taken. Okay, so this one was one, and the last one has a similar pattern, transformational. Okay, transformational and transactional and situational. Situational is a type of leadership where based on the context the leader will decide how to act. Okay, the next question is to explain the motivation theories. Okay, so here there are total 6 theories. The first and second one is Maslow's need hierarchy theory, and second is the McClelland's need theory. Okay, and the third fourth are related. It is theory X and theory Y, and in the fourth one we have the motivation hygiene theory. Okay, and fifth and sixth are related. The fifth one is the equity theory, and the sixth one is the expectancy theory. Okay, so let me explain you. These are the 5 levels are there, like the basic needs of food and shelter and all, till we reach the self esteem. Okay, and here 3 types of need are there, like power and need for recognition and all. Those 3 types of needs are there. Okay, these 2 are the group 1 motivation theories. Second is the theory X and theory Y. Like for making a person do the task, either he should fear some pain or be desired for some reward. Okay, then only the person will do the task. So theory X has to do with the fear of pain, and theory Y has to do with the desire for reward. Okay, and motivation hygiene theory is nothing but motivation means the normal, means every person wants that he has a job security and food and shelter, he gets those things he will get. Okay, like a normal life. So that is motivation, and hygiene means he will get more than that. Okay, means he will get a raise, means a promotion, and he will be recognized among the people, he will get some praise. Okay, so that is the motivation hygiene theory. And in equity theory, the person should be getting as much money as much he is doing the work. Okay, that is the equity theory. Expectancy theory means how much a person does the hard work, he should get that much reward, and means he should get that much means money, and based on that money he will get some praise, and based on that praise he will get some appreciation. Okay, so that is the expectancy theory. Okay, so these are the 6 expectancy theories, 6 motivation theories which you should explain. Okay, coming to the next topic, which is communication. Define communication and what is its nature and importance. That's the only question. Okay, so what do you mean by communication? Write it in your own words. It's defined as the transfer of knowledge from one person to another person. Nature and importance, 2 words I have told you to remember: motivation and success. So if there is communication in a company, then the people will be motivated to do the task together. There will be less conflicts, right? So there are some points like it is a means to motivate people and expanding the customer base. If there is communication, more people will be joining together, and there will be unity in them, and they'll do the task more effectively. There will be effective feedback among each other, and so on. Okay, those points you have to write. Okay, that is the nature and importance. Just imagine that if there is no communication, what all will happen. Okay, so that is the by those points you can write what is the importance of communication. Okay, coming to the next one, which is coordination. Define coordination. It means joining together and doing the task. Okay, just as simple as that. What is the nature and importance? Coordination, same things as I mentioned here, that only. Okay, coordination also has same benefits as communication. The last one is controlling. Define controlling. What are the steps involved in controlling? Controlling means what? How much a company is using the resources, having a track of that, and controlling. Okay, while people is going astray, we have to bring them to the right path. Okay, that is also controlling. And what are the steps in controlling? Once you have a company, at that time you will use some resources. At that time, what are the instruments you are using to utilize the resources? That should be considered first. After that the resources are used, whether that resources are used more or less, that you have to identify. If it is used more at that time, means take some actions to reduce that utilization, else if they are used as less, then it's fine and okay. Okay, so these are the steps. Like if I go through it one by one, what is the thing? Select a suitable instrument for measuring how much resources are used. After that, measure the performance of actual usage of resources, and then two things can happen: it is more or it is less. If it is more, take some action. If it is less, then it's all good, you can continue with your work. Okay, so that is the steps in controlling. You're just seeing how much resources are used and putting a control on it. Okay, the next one is, what are the different domains in which the control needs to be established. So there are mainly 4 types of domains, which are the first is the finance domain. Okay, finance. The next one is marketing. The third is operation, and the fourth one is HR, human resource. In each of these 3 points are there, but just remember one point and derive 3 points from it. Okay, like finance, audit. Audit means that includes everything, like how much resources is being used, what are the profits we are getting, how much resources are needed for the future, and break even analysis. Those all things will be carried on in finance, having a control on the resources, monetary resources. Okay, that is the first domain in which the control needs to be established. Second is the market. Marketing means how much sales has happened, how can you improve the sales, is customer satisfied, those things. Okay, operation is the statistics. In your inventory, how much items are currently present, do you need more items, how much items were sold, those all data. Okay, having a control on that domain. And human resources is the employee satisfied, how much employees getting the turnover, is employee able to work properly in the company, is he facing some difficulties, having a control on that domain. Okay, that is the fourth one. Okay, so this is all what you need to know from the module 2, and let's move on to the next module. Coming to the module 3, we have 3 topics, which are entrepreneurship, and feasibility studies. Okay, so let's see what are the questions which are asked under this topic and how to remember them. Okay, so the first question is, define entrepreneur. What are the characteristics of an entrepreneur? Okay, so this is the first question. You only tell me who is an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is the person who is able to innovate something in the company, innovate something and take the risk. Okay, and develop the company, identify the opportunities in the company, and create employment opportunities for the people. So that person who does all of these things is an entrepreneur. Okay, basically entrepreneur sells what is provided by the company to the other people, so that's an entrepreneur. But along with that, the entrepreneur will have the following characteristics. Okay, so total characteristics are like, you only imagine a person who is an entrepreneur. He will be ready to take the risks, he will be innovative, analyze the opportunities present, he will be well organized in his time, and he will have a business plan. He will be developing the business plan very quickly, and he will supervise and control other employees, and he will develop and grow the venture. Like that, you can form many points. Okay, just imagine an entrepreneur and write down what are the points you expect from his side. Okay, so that is the first question, define an entrepreneur and what are the characteristics of entrepreneur. The next one is, explain the classification of entrepreneur. Okay, for this, like suppose that you went to a new country. Okay, in that new country, one person was standing there. Okay, so you went and asked to that person, where are you from? Okay, so that's the first thing. Social and socio-cultural. Remember the points in this story wise. You went to a person, that person was standing there, and you asked the person, where are you from? He told where he is from and what he does. So when he told what he does a business. Okay, then you asked him, what is your expertise in that business? Means how much experience you have that in that business. Okay, and whether the business is the family business or you are starting from the first time. Okay, it is a family business or you are starting for the first time. And what is your technical expertise? You will also ask that. Okay, technical expertise. So these are the 4 types of entrepreneurs. Socio-cultural means in that there will be immigrants who came from different country, or they are staying in that country, or they are majority, they are minority. Okay, these 4 types come under socio-cultural. Then expertise, whether you are expert in it or you are just starting out. Then family or first generation business. Okay, those 2 types. Technical means they are like analyst, testers, statisticians, mathematicians, those people who research on the trends and all. So those type of entrepreneurs are there. Okay, those are the classification of entrepreneurs. And coming to the next question, differentiate between entrepreneur, and manager. Entrepreneur and manager. Entrepreneur is a person who works in a company and tries to find out some flaw in that company or some gap in that company and tries to fill that gap or start his own venture. Okay, means he's working, staying inside the company. Okay, that is an entrepreneur. And entrepreneur is the person who works outside the company and brings in the customers and the sales from outside. Manager is a person who is appointed to manage the resources, people, and the time. Okay. What is the role of entrepreneurs in economic development? There are mainly 5 points. What does entrepreneur do? He goes to other places and spreads the awareness. Okay. Imagine there is an entrepreneur who went to other places and spread the awareness about his product. Okay. So there will be a creation of employment opportunities. Creating employment opportunities. Many people will be aware of it and would like to join his business. Okay, that is that's the next one, which is the creating employment opportunities. So if many people start to join and become entrepreneur, there will be increase in competition. So what happens if there is an increase in competition? People will be competing to get the best. Okay, so at the end, what will happen is the public will get the better product, because increase in competition means only the best product will be accepted, right? So public will be getting the best products. Okay, so that was the third point. And after that we have it provides diversity in firms. Means if there is a spread of entrepreneurship in a country, from the different parts of the country, people will come and join together. Okay, that is the fourth point. And the last one is just that inspire others towards entrepreneurship. Okay, when some people come and join in the company, and we inspire them to become entrepreneur and spread the awareness among the other people. Okay, so those are the 5 points. Okay, so that's the role of entrepreneurs in the economic development. Then coming to the next topic, which is entrepreneurship, we have the question, write a short note on entrepreneurship in India, and after that explain the barriers to entrepreneurship. Okay, so entrepreneurship in India, it started from a very long time, like before the British time. So remember, in this way, at that time the spices were very famous in India, so spices were exported. Then when the British came in India during the 18th century and 19th century, at that time British started a lot of more companies, like the iron industry, wooden industry, and the cloth and the spices and all. Okay, so those things were started by British. Okay, so that boosted the entrepreneurship in India. And when the British went, the government started funding the people, and also government started building the companies. Okay, so there also the entrepreneurship boomed. And after 2000, the digitization era started. So the software also played a major role in entrepreneurship. So there are many online means startups which make the use of entrepreneurship. Okay, so that's the current trend in India. So it started from a very long time, and till now it's increasing. Okay, so that's the entrepreneurship in India. And explain the barriers to entrepreneurship. Suppose that you went to start a new business. Okay, what do you need? You need money, finance. Finance is the first barrier to entrepreneurship. The second one is, when you start a new thing, there will be a lot of competition. And even if the competition is like you have a means there is a competition. Okay, means if there is a competition but you are not affected by it. Okay, so but still you will have the legal documents. You have to make the legal documents for your venture, and that also has many barriers in it. And there will be corruption. Okay, and even if these two things are over, then you will have to pay the tax burden. Okay, and after that you will find difficulty in acquiring the resources. Even if the resources are acquired, you need to find the high quality resources, because to come at the top, you need to have the high quality products. And usually people tend to join the bigger companies instead of startups. So that is the difficulty in hiring the talent. Okay, difficulty in hiring the talent. So these are the barriers to entrepreneurship. And the last question is, what are the various stages in entrepreneurial process? So mainly there are 4 stages. The first one is the idea. Okay, the first one is the idea. You need to have an idea which is applicable at the larger scale, and the solution is feasible. After that, you will carry out some surveys and studies whether the idea should be continued or not. After that, you will check if the product or the service you are going to provide is valuable. After that, you will check whether in the industry there is any need for it or not, and whether the team will be able to work with it or not, organization. And finally, you will see if it is you have the financial resources to carry to make the product. Okay, finance, if these four things are available, after that you write a letter to the government organizations to give you a license to start the business, and if that is accepted, you can start your business. Okay, launch the venture. So these are the process in the these are the stages in the entrepreneurial process. Okay, coming to the last topic, which is the feasibility studies. How to identify a business opportunity and what are the various feasibility studies. Okay, so how do you identify a business opportunity? Three things are there. You will identify a problem that needs to be solved, then you will solve the problem and make sure that it is large scale problem, and you have the financial resources, and whatever product you use to solve the problem, that product, if you are selling to the people, it is feasible, means people should be able to buy, and it should be environmental friendly. Okay, it should not cause harm to the environment. So these are the things which you will consider before developing a business idea. And what are the various feasibility studies? There are feasibility studies means, this only I talked, right? It should be feasible. So there are four domains where you have to see if it is feasible or not. The first one is like finance. Okay, it should be financially feasible. It should be not very high, means the product which you make should not be very costly, so that people can be able to buy that product. Okay, so finance. Market, if there is any competition in the market, that you will check. And after that, the technical expertise. Okay, whether you have a team who can understand the technical aspects behind that product. And finally, you will have the social, means the product should be environmental friendly. It should not be causing harm to the environment, like any poisonous gases and all will be released, right, by the while you create some products. So that should not happen. Okay, so these are the four feasibility studies carried out. Okay, so this all what you have in the module 3, and let's move on to the next module. Coming to the module 4, there are mainly two topics, project and enterprise resource planning. Okay, so in the project, the first question is like what is a project, and what is the project identification and project selection. Okay, so what is a project? Project is a set of tasks that is needed to be achieved, or some unique product or service that you are going to build. Okay, that is known as a project. Okay, means whatever task you want to do. And write a short note on the project identification and the project selection. How you will identify a project? A project is identified by two things. The first one is the idea. If the idea is good, if it is in large scale and the cost is optimal, then it is a good idea. After the idea is means selected, we have to carry out the surveys. We have to ask the people, we have to ask the experts whether that idea is feasible or not. So you will carry out the preliminary feasibility. Okay, so in preliminary feasibility, you will be taking the surveys from the people and doing more research on that idea, whether that idea should be continued or not. Okay, that is the project identification. Coming to the project selection, how you will select a project? You will do 4 tests. Okay, the 4 test is, the first test is the product or service you are going to make. Okay, whether you are going to make a product or service. Okay, what you're going to make, a product or a service, and whether that product and service is like people can buy it, and whether it's cheaper, whether it's solving the actual problem, whether it's doing some harm to the environment or not, that also should be considered. Okay, that is the first test you will be carrying out. After that, you have to see in which industry you are going to enter, in that industry or market, whether there is a competition or not. If there is a competition, does my product perform better in the competition or not? What are the changes I need to make? That you will be identifying here. Okay, that comes in under project selection. Okay, these things. And the third thing is the organization, whether what you are going to make, is it organization, means whatever the team you have, whether they will be ready to work for it or not, whether they are aware of the benefits you have from that product or not. Okay, so that one you have to carry out the feasibility study. After that, the social feasibility. Social feasibility means the people will be able to purchase that product or not. And finally, we have the financial feasibility. So in the financial feasibility, you will be able to allocate the resources for carrying out the production of the service or product. If yes, then you will be selecting that project and moving on to the next step. Okay, that is about the project identification and the selection. Okay, and the next one is what is the need and significance of project report. Okay. What is the need and significance of project report? Two things you need to keep in mind for the project report. Okay, what is a project report? You have made a project X. Okay, and the information about that X is stored in a project report. Okay, so what all it will have? It will have the description of the project, it will have the financial means how much finance it has used, and what are the resources used, and what is the plan, and what is the problem that is going to be solved. Those things will be mentioned in a project report. Okay, so these things you have to mention in a project report. And what is the need is for the proof. Okay, means we have to show for the government, right? Like the license and all we need to get a startup, right? So and the project should be carried out by using some resources. So the resource allocations, you need money. For that, bank audit should be there, that also is included in this one. And the investors also need a perfect plan. They need like plan with which they will be satisfied. Okay, so to demonstrate a plan to the investors, you need to have a project. Okay, and after that you need to have the customers will buy a product only when they find it good enough to spend money on that. To satisfy the customers needs, you need to have a good project report, so that you can show to the customers that this is our project. Also, if there is a good project report, you can collaborate with other teams who are working on the similar projects, right? Also, you can hire good talent from the country, because when you have a good project report, people will be willing to work for it. Okay, so two things are there. The first one is the proof. For the proof purpose, you need to have a project report, and also you will also have a roadmap of what you need to do, right? If you have a project report, you will be exactly knowing what you have to do, right? Also, if you have some doubt, like the particular component in the project is not working, what we have to do, you can use this project report as a manual, right? Also, if there is some problem here, that can be updated, right? How that problem will be identified? By documenting the errors in it. Okay, so these all the things you need to have in a project report, and they'll be useful for these purposes. One for the proof, other for collaborating with different people, and satisfying the customers needs, and hiring good talent from the country. Okay, so that was about the need and significance of project report. Let's see what the next question is. How do you carry out the formulation of project report? Explain. Okay, this is basically like what we have to do, means what are the steps needed to formulate a project report. That is like a pretty simple one. To carry out a project report, first we need to identify the objectives. Okay, objectives of the project report. What is the project you are going to make on? Okay, after that, gather the data should be gathered, and after that, put the thoughts on a paper, like write down what are your thoughts regarding that idea. After that, make a rough draft of it and update it. Keep on doing until you reach a final state of particular report. And after that, finalize the business plan. And get the report means verified by the experts, and then submit it. So what you did, you first means observed what is your idea. After that, you gathered data, researched on it, and made some changes in it. When you are finalized with it, you submit it to the experts, they verified it, and you submit it to the the actual people, like the investors and all. Okay, so that's how you formulate a project report. Coming to the next question, we have explain the guidelines provided by the Planning Commission for preparation of project report. So there is a planning commission. A company is there. They will be making the rules which you have to follow while creating a project report. What were the rules they have told us? Okay, highlight the points, like what is the customer's actual need. This is the first point. Focus on the customer's need. Okay, what the customer actually needs, focused on that instead of what you are going to provide to the customer. Okay, means suppose that if the customer's need is like you are opening a food restaurant, okay, and the customer's need is hunger. Okay, but what you are doing is you are saying like we have these kind of foods and all, these are very tasty foods and all, those things avoid it. Focus on hunger. Okay, that's the customer's need, that should be your most priority. And the next point is that keep it to the point and concise. The project report, it should be to the point and concise, avoiding all the extra details. And the project report should be like simple, okay, it should not be having extravagant materials in it, okay, so that investors should think that you will waste money like that, okay. And after that you should have a professional look for it, professional look, and project a dispassionate point of view, like you should be writing the mean the project report not using I and we, you have to write it using the third person's point of view to avoid all the personal emotions associated with the project report, okay. And write the report yourself and just take the help from others, okay. So these are the things. And what are the components to be included in the project report? The first is the general information. After the general information, you should have the project description. After that, what are the feasibility tests you carried out, that should be included, okay. Like for example, what are the requirements and analysis, okay. To recap, if they ask you for the guidelines provided by the planning commission for preparation of project report, focus on the customer's need, and when you make the project report, it should be simple and to the point. Use third person's point of view. Inside that there should be general information, project description, requirements and analysis, okay. Just explain these points in a greater detail, okay. Moving on to the second topic, we have ERP. So the first question is, what is ERP? Explain its importance, okay. ERP is enterprise resource planning, okay. So it is an integrated system like an app where you can whatever business you have, in that business what are the process and all is there, you can automate it, you can store the business data in it, okay. And you can carry out the ML and AI algorithms to find out the trends in your business, where are the losses going, you can manage the employees satisfaction, employees health, and the turnover, how much salary should be given, and for recruitment and process and all, like aptitude test and all, that can be carried out. Means all the things you carry out manually can be automated by using ERP, okay. Here the plan is made for the enterprises, for that an app is used. So that's it, the enterprise resource planning. You can include many points like yeah, that's it, what all I explained, that's only the points. And just imagine a company, what are the process going on, and if that process can be automated, it will save time, it will save the resources, and you will get better results, okay. So that's all what you have to explain in ERP. And coming to the next one, explain the functional areas of enterprise resource planning, okay. What are the functional areas, where do ERP is used, okay, that we have to explain. So the places where ERP is used are four, okay. The first one is the marketing and sales, to keep a track of how many products are sold and what are the trends going on in the market, those things, okay. So that was for the first one. And the second one is supply chain management. What is the supply chain management? From the source to the means in the middle, there will be some people who will be purchasing that, and finally will be the customers who will be purchasing the product. So all of this track will be kept of who sent to whom and how much it was sent to, and what is the best way of sending, and what is the best way of utilizing it, how much should be purchased when, those things will be carried out. The track of these things will be kept, okay. That is the supply chain management. Third one is the finance and accounting. Finance and accounting will keep track of how much resources are used, how much money is spent, and what is the budgetary plan, what is the next financial planning, and what is the next resources needed. Those things will be kept as a record, okay, in a database by using ERP. And the last one is the human resource. This for the recruitment, selection of the people, and carrying out the surveys of the employees, and keeping track of their health and the security and the salaries, okay. So that's all what we have in the module 4. Go through these topics, and let's go to the module 5. Coming to module 5, we have 3 topics. The first one is the micro and small enterprises, the second is the institutional support, and third is the IPR. So in the first topic, the first question is, what are the characteristics of micro and small enterprises? First point you have to mention is how much cost it takes to establish the micro and small enterprises. It is between rupees 25 lakh and 5 crores, okay. And what are the characteristics? They are means their production is low production, and lesser employees, okay, lesser employees, and they are like based in the villages and towns, and they have the informal management style, and they have the low gestation period, means it doesn't take much time to prepare a product. Okay, and also they have means most of these businesses come under family businesses. So these are the characteristics of small enterprises, means it's a small yeah, industry where the production happens. Okay, and the second is what are the advantages of micro and small enterprises. The advantages is that it requires lower capital. Okay, lower capital and the lower gestation period, means it takes lesser time to means produce the goods. And after that it provides local employment, means the people in the villages, and it enjoys the privileges from the government, which we'll be discussing in the upcoming questions. And it shifts the focus from the big cities to the villages and towns. Okay, means all the people buy from here, but when there are micro and small enterprises in the villages, people start buying from here also, so the villages also improve. Okay, and it's an excellent platform for demonstrating entrepreneurial activities. Okay, means some people will be there in the villages who will be very good in entrepreneurship, so they'll get an opportunity to demonstrate their entrepreneurship. Okay, that are the advantages of MSME. Okay, and what are the steps of establishing the micro and small enterprises? To establish this one, first you have to have an idea. Okay, that's the first step. After you have an idea, you have to carry out the survey, means ask the experts if this is a good idea, if I have to continue or not. After that you will do the four things as discussed earlier also. What is your product or service, whether it's going to survive in the market or not, in the industry whether there is before only there is a competition or not, and whether the team will be able to work with it or not, and whether that is causing harm to the environment, social issues, and also the last one, it's financially feasible or not. After that you will be writing a letter or a draft to the government agencies, and after that you will be gathering the resources. After that you will means get the legal documents and all, and start building the company and recruiting employees, and after that you will be filing your license and starting your venture. Okay, so that are the steps in establishing micro and small enterprises. Okay, coming to the next question, what are the 2007 government policies of the MS and MNS enterprises? Okay, so here the government policy include reservation of exclusive items. Okay, so the people in the villages will be able to purchase some exclusive items, means something some items will be reserved for them, and some items they will be reserved to sell. Okay, means there is a percentage reservation for the selling as well as for the buying. Okay, that's the first point, which is the reservation. Okay, the second is the exemption. Okay, excise exemption. That means that suppose that there is a company A in the village. Okay, and here is the Nike. Okay, Nike is the shoe company. So what they will do is they will produce the goods. The means this company will give them the order to produce like 500 shoes. Okay, so they will produce the 500 shoes and sell to them, and they will send the they will sell the shoes under their brand. Okay, that is the excise exemption. And the second advantage of means the government policy is that they have been given like a delayed and flexible payment. Okay, so compared to others they are given a more flexible payment. Okay, and the third one is the monetary grant. Okay, means they are given like a grant of 75,000 rupees, also 50% grant for having quality products or ISO certification. The last one is the relief for tax and import export, means what are the licenses required. Okay, so these are the four advantages. The first one is the reservation, second is the means excise exemption, and the third is the monetary grant, and the fourth one is the relief from tax and import export licenses. Okay, moving on to the next question, we have explain the three case studies. Okay, so the three case studies are Microsoft, Infosys, and Captain GR Gopinath. Okay, so let's discuss the first one, which is Microsoft. Here are a few points which you need to remember. Okay, so the first point is that it was founded in 1975 by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. And first what they did is they sell the basic means this is a programming language, they sold it. Okay, and after that IBM started using Microsoft's operating system. After that they launched Windows 1.0. Okay, and many people purchased Windows 1.0, and Bill Gates became the first youngest billionaire at the age of 31. And after that Microsoft developed SQL, and it launches the Windows 95, Windows XP, and Windows 7, 8, 8.1, like that it means started launching. And after that it also launched the Microsoft Office suites, and the finally it means as of now there are more than 25 million users of Microsoft. Okay, so that is the point which you have to mention in the exam. Okay, the second is the case study of Captain G.R. Gopinath. Okay, firstly he was in the armed forces, then he came to working on agriculture, so he made a lot of improvement in the agriculture in his land, and after that he went to means in the business of motorbikes, and he made some success there also, and finally the real success he got in the Deccan Airlines. Okay, so his aim was to make air traveling so cheap that a common man can afford it. Okay, so that was the Deccan Airlines. So he worked for a longer period of time there, and he is known for that contribution in the airlines of India. And after that he also stood for the elections in the Lok Sabha in 2009, and government has awarded him several awards. Okay, so that was about the case study of J.R. Gopinath. And third one is the Infosys. Okay, in Infosys, N.R. Narayan Murthy, he studied electrical engineering, and after that he went to Kanpur for a job, and he was more interested in computer science. At that time computer science was just an emerging trend, so he worked in a company in Ahmedabad, and after that he went to Paris and he worked in an operating system project. Then he came back to Pune, he worked for some companies like small companies. Then after that he met some people there who were like minded as him, so they means joined together and started Infosys. Okay, so it took a long time for Infosys to see the success, but it took 2 years to buy their first computer license, and means it took a lot of time for him to get successful in that, and as of today it's a successful company. Okay, so that's it about the three case studies. And the next one is explain the terms these things. Okay, these are the full forms. Yeah, I'll go through it one by one. What is the full form of each of these? The first one is the MSME DI. What does DI mean? DI means development institutes. So these agencies help the means the startups to provide assistance and conduct awareness and all about the means what are the possibilities and entrepreneurship. Okay, the second is the NSIC. NSIC means National Small Industries Corporation. So they help to grow, means they help in fostering the growth of small industries. Okay, and SIDBI, this is for the bank. Okay, SIDBI means Small Industries Development Bank of India. They provide financial assistance. KIADB, which is Karnataka Industries and Development Board. Okay, so in KIADB, they also provide the industrial help like acquiring the land and all. And KS KSSIDC means Karnataka State Small Scale Industries Development Corporation. So they also do the same thing. They work under KIADB, and they also do the same thing of acquiring lands and helping the means entrepreneurs establish the company in that particular land. And TechSoc, this is the technical consultancy services of Karnataka. Okay, so their primary objective is to provide the reliable consultancy support for the entrepreneurs. And after that we have KSFC, which is also the financial corporation, Karnataka State Financial Corporation. Okay, so it provides the financial assistance. DIC is Directorate of Industries and Commerce, and district level of single window agency. So they have an agency here, which is the single window agency. So they foster the single point clearances to the means what are the legal documents, right? They help with that. Okay, and DIC, which is the Directorate of Industries and Commerce, they help in getting the industries established and business in Karnataka. Okay, so these are the main terms which you need to know. Just know the full form and explain it on your own words. Okay, so coming to the last one, which is the IPR. IPR means intellectual property right. Okay, means if you have some design or some product or some product name and you want to means you want to protect that, then you can use IPR. Okay, intellectual property right. Okay, and what are its main forms? There are a few forms of it, like patents. What is a patent? I'll explain that um, in this question itself. So what is a patent? Patent grants the rights for a specific period of time. Okay, means if you have designed a new bottle for a specific period of time, you'll have a right on that. Means if someone wants to create a bottle similar to this one, then they have to pay you some money. Okay, that's for a specific period of time. That is patent. Copyright is just the protection of the rights of the creative works of the authors, composers, and who do the creative work. Okay, the last one is the trademark. Okay, trademark means what? See, for Apple there is a logo, right? The Apple logo, so that is a trademark. Okay, to distinguish between different companies. Okay, that is a trademark. And we have also another question, that is explain the different types of patents. There are three types of patents: utility. Okay, these are the patents which are like a document for explaining to the public the new emerging technology. Okay, and the second is the plant, and third is the design. Okay, so in design what happens is, if you have a unique design, you can file a patent on that. Okay, and the plant design is plant patent is that it protects the new kinds of plants produced by cuttings or the non-sexual means. Okay, so that is for the plant patent. Okay.